If you stand or walk all day for work, the wrong shoes can make your feet worse, even if they feel comfortable in the shop. The biggest mistake I see is people choosing soft shoes that collapse after a few hours, leaving their feet doing all the work. In this video, I'm going to show you the best stability shoes for walking and standing all day. So the shoe that I'd recommend for most people is the Hoka Gaviota 6. Now there's a number of reasons for this. It has a really wide platform underneath the shoe, increasing the amount of contact that you have with the ground. It has lots of cushioning, but it's very deceptive as it's not as soft as it appears. It's actually quite firm, and that's thanks to the H-frame that runs either side of the undersole and across the middle, providing stability on the outside and through the middle of the shoe. So it's a non-intrusive form of stability shoe. It doesn't push up into the arch of your foot, but has that firm cushioning and really stable base. And interestingly, it's got one of the widest toe boxes on the market for a stability shoe. So if you've got a wider foot and you need that extra space, you're covered in the Gaviota 6. In addition to that, if you're someone who has higher arches but needs some extra stability, the Gaviota 6 does an excellent job. Now if you're looking for a slightly less max cushion shoe, then we've got the Cloudrunner 3. And this actually really surprised me. Because again, when you look at it, similar to the Hoka, because of the holes in the midsole, you'd think that the shoe is really soft on the foot, but it's actually the firmest shoe of all of the shoes that I'm going to talk to you about today. So it provides stability by having a heel clip around the back of the shoe that wraps around your ankle, helping to control those pronation moments when you hit the ground. It's got a relatively wide platform as well, that firm base for your foot. It's got an excellent fit on top. It's not as wide as what we see in the Hoka Gaviota 6, but it's spacious enough for most people, and it's got plenty of padding around the heel cup. So it's a really comfortable shoe if you're standing all day. But if you want a shoe that gives you some more arch support underneath your foot, then we can't look any further than the Asics Gel Kayano 32. So this is always one of my top recommended shoes because they've just done such a good job with this model. So you've got this really plush cushioning underneath your foot, so it's nice and soft and pillow-like when you initiate contact with the ground, but it's got a 4D guidance system to provide stability. So that's a broad base of support. It's got sole flare, that's where the sole comes out wider than where your foot sits in the shoe, giving you extra contact with the ground, making the shoe more stable. It's also got a 4D guidance system, which is a tab that sits under the arch of your foot. So if you're someone that likes feeling that pressure up into the arch to give you extra support, if you've got a more flexible flat foot and you like to have extra support in there, this can feel really comfortable. It's also got sidewalls on the inside and the outside of the heel. That's where the midsole comes up, wraps around your heel, again helping to control those pronation moments when you hit the ground. It's got a nice knit upper, plenty of space in the toe box, and it comes in a wide version as well. So it's a really hard to beat if you're looking for a shoe with some subtle arch support. Now, if you want a shoe that provides a form of support towards the inside of the shoe without pushing up into your arch, then a really nice model that came out this year was the New Balance 860 V15. It's a very unique shoe in terms of it's one of the only shoes in the market that provides a medial wedge. Now what that means is it's slightly thicker on the inside of the shoe in terms of cushioning than the outside. And when you place your foot inside the shoe, it just places it at a slight tilt outward. Not ideal if you're someone who suffers from ankle sprains frequently, as it can just put a little bit of extra pressure on the outside of your ankle. However, if you're someone who has a rigid flat foot, or who gets sensitivity on the inner aspect of your foot, say fatigue in your arch at the end of a day, well then this is an excellent option because it just shifts your weight, shifts the forces towards the outside, whether you're standing or whether you're walking in it. Now it's got a lot more cushioning than what we saw in the last model, so it's more bouncy, more springy. If that's something that you enjoy, that feeling of when you walk, this is going to be an excellent option. It's also got a fantastic fit on top like most New Balance shoes do, so lots of space in the toe box for your toes to display, but a great lockdown on top so you feel nice and secure in the shoe. So this is an excellent option if you need to offload the inner aspect of your foot. However, if you want a more traditional stability shoe, then we have the Brooks Adrenaline GTS 25. Now most shoes on the market are moving away from this type of model. However, we still feel that it has a place and it does a really good job. It has nice balanced cushioning, so it sits somewhere in between the Gaviota and the Kayano in terms of the softness, so you sink into it but not too much, so it's very balanced. And then you've got its go-to support system. And this is similar to what you might think of in a bowling alley where they lift up the railings and it just keeps you centered in the shoe as you move. Now you can feel some mild arch support towards the inside, but it's not significant. And this does have the highest drop of all the shoes that we're going to talk about, with a 10mm difference in height from the back to the front of the shoe. That does an excellent job at offloading your Achilles and your calf muscle if you're someone who experiences issues with that, while also providing support to the arch of your foot. It's got a very flexible forefoot, so it's not ideal for those of you who have sensitivity in the ball of the foot, but overall it's a very balanced shoe, some arch support, a high drop, great fit on top, and really a solid option if you're looking for a more traditional stability shoe. If you're someone who's slightly heavier or you feel like you need extra cushioning underneath your foot, well then the Nike Structure Plus does an excellent option. It provides support both on the outside and the inside of the shoe. So if you're someone with a higher arch or you need some lateral stability as well, this is a perfect option. It combines the Zoom X and React X cushioning in the Nike range, so it's really soft and plush underneath your foot without being too mushy and unstable. It has a nice broad base underneath your foot as well, and it's got loads of space in the toe box. An excellent fit overall, comes in lots of different colorways, and if you're looking for an option from Nike that's not as bouncy, a bit more ground contact feel, you've got the Nike Structure 26, which we've done a review of, and we'll pop a link in the description below if you want to check it out. But overall, the Nike Structure Plus is an excellent option for more cushioning, but a really good stability overall. A shoe that most of you may not be familiar with, but I'm a big fan of, and that's the Topo Aura. Now, they do a great job of providing the best toe box on the market, so you have lots of space for your toes to display. It's what we call an anatomical toe box, so it's designed around the natural shape of your foot. Now, what I would say about this is, if you're someone who has a really wide foot from the heel all the way up to the forefoot, this isn't ideal because it's quite snug in the heel and the midfoot, and then really broadens out to allow your toes to display. It's got zip foam cushioning, which is quite balanced overall, so similar to what we see in the Brooks. So you sink into it a little bit. It's not a max cushion shoe, but it's got plenty of cushioning for standing for long periods of time, or if you're going for those longer walks. It provides stability through the Y frame, which you can see underneath the shoe, and that works very similar to the H frame that we have in the Hoka Gaviota 6. It tries to guide your foot through the shoe as you walk or when you're standing, rather than providing intrusive support up into the arch of your foot. So an excellent stability shoe if you don't want intrusive support, but you want an anatomical toe box. Then, in summary, the Hoka Gaviota 6 is the most stable, all-day comfort shoe for standing and walking. The Cloudrunner 3, firm, supportive cushioning that helps reduce fatigue over long shifts. The Asics Gel Kayano 32, plush cushioning with a built-in arch support for tired, aching feet. The New Balance 860 V15, a more dynamic stability shoe with support that doesn't feel too intrusive. The Brooks Adrenaline GTS 26, a reliable, high-drop stability shoe with a smooth and balanced feel. The Nike Structure 26, a solid, stable shoe that feels supportive, comfortable and secure underfoot. The Topo Aura, a wide, anatomical shaped stability shoe with a really natural feel underneath your foot. All the shoes are linked in the description below. We've got a monthly newsletter with updates on these types of shoes that you can sign up to in the description as well. Otherwise, if you watch the channel regularly and you haven't subscribed, please do, as it's the most significant thing that you can do to help the channel for free. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching.